So in doing a lot of real estate training specific to foreclosure, I'm asked all the time, how do so many people go into foreclosure? Let's understand that in the United States, we are the richest country in the world. And yet if you look on the Social Security Administration, 98% of the people by the time they reach age 65 are either dead, broke, or still working. We are literally taught in our society how to be broke, and being broke is acceptable. This is why there are three main reasons why people go in to the foreclosure process. And number one, of course, is what? What is it? Yes, you're exactly right. Number one, loss of job. When people lose their ability to produce, they lose their income. And we know this for sure, guys and gals. People are not being paid enough at their jobs. They're just not. They're being paid just enough to be kept. That's all it is. The average person right now is working over 50 hours a week. And we've all heard of this gimmick called a salary, right? That's where you get to work 70 hours but only get paid for 40. People are not getting paid enough in their jobs. They're good, they're hardworking people, but they're not getting paid what they deserve to be paid. A major company just this past October, they laid off 800 people. And do you know how they did it? Guess how they did it? Yes, you're right. By email. 800 people were emailed that they were fired. And nobody said a thing. We're caught up on the wrong things in this country. What's the second reason why people go into foreclosure? And that reason, of course, is divorce. A couple gets together, for better or for worse, for sickness and in health. But let's be honest, what's the number one thing that couples argue about? And of course, that's money. Too much or too little? Yes, too little. Exactly. People are not making enough money. So then they start settling. They start settling for the car. They start settling for the house. They start settling for the lifestyle. They have no dream. The dream is dwindling away. And the third major reason why people go into the foreclosure process is too much credit card debt. And the banks know it. Now, do the banks know that they are putting people in debt? And the answer overwhelmingly is yes. They're doing it systematically. Now, of course, Bob, is this a conspiracy theory? No. Banks are in business to make what? Right. Money. That's what banks are in the business of. Have you ever done? Now, I've had the luxury of being broke before. Have any of you? And I was a top producer at it. They'd send me a credit card, and I didn't know if it was a credit card or a gift card. So I just ran it up. If I had a balance of $3,000, I'd run it up to $3,400 or $3,500. Then I just start getting the no's at the restaurants and the shops, right? It always happens, right? Well, then the lenders send me the statements. And I've got the late fee, the over the limit fee, the fee for the fee, all the different fees. It takes me a year to get it down from $3,400 down to $3,000. And then guess what they do? They send me a congratulations letter. Bob, on the great way you've handled your credit, we're now going to raise your level of dependency. Did you know this, guys and gals? 34% of Americans purchase their groceries on MasterCard and Visa. I know. It's for the points, right? Well, the points are only a benefit if you're going to pay off the credit card at the end of the month. But we know this for sure. Most people are broke. Most people in America are broke. We are taught how to be broke. This is what we're taught. We're taught, go to elementary school, right? Study, get good grades, do your homework. Graduate, go to high school. What do we do in high school? Study, get good grades, do our homework. Graduate, go to college. College is very affordable for most people, right? That's not the case. But when we go to college, what do we learn how to do in college? Study, get good grades, do our homework, learn how to drink, graduate, and go where? We go get a job. And following that process, you have a 2% chance of making it financially. See, I went through the whole education system unscathed with that last statistic. Isn't that interesting? And then, love this, where did they tell us to put our money if we're smart? In the stock market. Great companies. Enron, WorldCom, United Airlines, New Century, the list goes on and on and on, and no one is holding those companies accountable. Many of these companies, the CEO is getting a $40, $50, $60 million bonus as 10,000 of the laborers are being laid off. How does that happen? It's acceptable. The average person out there is going broke. That we know for sure, at all income levels. Forbes magazine did a survey of the people that make between $100,000 and $200,000 a year. Did you know this? 56% of those nice people live paycheck to paycheck. You see, we are taught how to be broke. We are not taught how to dream. Most of our dreams go away. But what would happen if you had a system that was so clear, so set up, and so concise that you could actually achieve your dream? And you can do that, of course, which is why you came here tonight, dealing in the foreclosure business, because when you're in the foreclosure business and you're doing it right, not the gimmicks, not the tricks, you're doing it right. You're going to go out, you're going to solve a problem for the seller. You're going to help the seller. 84% of the people in foreclosure never speak to their banks. Do you know why? They're scared. And you're going to have the ability to help them, but you have to be trained properly. You have to know what's going on. In order to be trained right, you need to bring something to the table. You need to bring a huge dream, goal, or ambition. Is dealing with people in foreclosure going to be simple? No, it's going to be very easy. It's going to be very, very easy, not very simple. But you have to know what you would do with the money. The average profit on a property in foreclosure that I'm going to teach you to do tonight is $50,000. Now let me ask you this. If I gave you a check for, say, $250,000, what would you do with it? What would you do with that kind of money? You see, what you need to bring to the table is a dream. Do you have a dream? What would you do with the money? Would you travel? Would you get a bigger house? Would you get a better car? Would you put money away in a retirement? Would you help people? Would you give money to your church? Would you help some homeless people? You see, you have that opportunity. You just got to be trained right. Right now, in the nation, 1 out of every 297 homes is in one stage of the foreclosure process. That means that you have a tremendous opportunity. In California alone, right now, just in one county, let's just take Los Angeles County. Right now, there's over 18,000 properties in one stage of the foreclosure process. You can get all these statistics by, of course, going back to our website and coming to our workshop to find out all the information. But what you have to bring, of course, is the dream. So we're going to continue working now. Our website is www.youdreambig.com. We'll give you all the training that you're going to need. So you want to write that down. www.youdreambig.com. Is that fair enough? All right, now let's continue.